It's now time for the WLEW Sports Postgame Show on Sports Radio 102.1 FM, WLEWSports.com, and now live on Facebook. Presented by Sure Health.
The Harbor Beach Pirates wasted no time in this one, and they took out the Reese Rockets in commanding fashion. 49-8 is your final score. But right now, we'll shift our attention down to the midfield because Ed Klump is standing by with a very patient Troy Shelke, who just secured yet another playoff victory for his team, taking out the Reese Rockets 49-8. Ed Klump, take it away.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win. It seemed like everything was firing. The running game was there. The defense did great. How do you feel the team did?
Yeah, great team victory. You know, anytime we get in the playoffs, you bring the JV kids up, increases the energy. So we had a great week of practice, and we really had a lot to improve on from the last time we played Reese. And I'm anxious to see the tape. But I think we improved a lot, both in the running game and with our discipline on defense. Because Reese is a good team. They're a very good 5-4 team. So I think we played some good ball tonight.
Now, it appears that you have USA coming here next week. What's the message to the players for this week in practice?
You know, USA was one of our best games this year, along with Ottawa Lake and Millington, and maybe now this one too. So USA's been playing some good football here lately. I know they lost a close one week 9, but they had won a few in a row before that. So they're going to come in here and they're going to battle us. They're going to give us everything you can handle. So, you know, we'll start studying ourselves tomorrow and then start on USA here shortly and try to get ready and try to get another win. It'll be another tough opponent. I thought Reese was tough. USA's going to be tough too.
Yeah, always hard-nosed football in the thumb.
Right, exactly. We'd much rather get outside of the thumb if we can, but we got to just be ready for USA. It's tough to beat a team twice, but we did here tonight. We're going to try to do it again Friday night.
Well, hey, congratulations on your 32nd win in the playoffs, by the way.
Yeah. The kids had, like I say, a great week. They were focused. JV kids helped us a lot, and team victory. Everybody contributed here tonight. I mean, a lot of people made big plays.
It's great to see that. Great to see some of the JV guys getting moved up and getting in. That's exciting for them.
Yeah, heck yeah. No, they were excited. I could tell they did some good things while they were in there, and so that was fantastic. How about little Tyrus Winkle running that one back at the end there?
that was great. So hey, Coach,
did you guys say they say anything about Grandma Jean on that one? I wonder.
I don't think Clark did.
Oh, I was too excited. He was too excited.
He did say that his nephew's first run. He was hoping when he was calling it wouldn't be a 2-yard loss. But beggars can't be choosers.
You need better play calling. Better play calling, Ned. Better play calling.
Hey, Coach, congratulations. Good luck next week.
Yeah, thanks, Eddie. Great week. Hopefully we'll do it again next week.
There you go. Congrats.
And there's Ed Klump with Troy Shelke, the head coach for the Harbor Beach Pirates for 29 years. And 50 total playoff games for Troy Shelke, and 32 of those being victorious. Of course, the 2012 state champions already inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he has his Harbor Beach Pirates firing in all cylinders.
Oh, man, they look great. They looked great last week. They look really good again this week. And, the best part about it is we've only seen about 40-50% of what they have to offer.
That's exactly
right?
it. Yeah.
Like I said, you hardly even call the name Benson Harper anymore. You forget that he's there, and the second they need a play, that's the guy they're going to dial up. But credit to these other guys. I mean, Rogan Messing has a big game. Keegan Potestivio had a great game. Drew Nickran had some big runs. I mean, you can go down the list of guys that contributed, and Coach Shelke doesn't miss a beat to give credit to those guys. He'd name them all if we gave him the time. And, again, just a really well-rounded out game, offensively, defensively. Skylar Cruz on special teams. I mean, this team's ready for a run.
And Dave Hansen, well, with that, why don't you walk us through our scoring plays from tonight?
Absolutely. Started in the first quarter on the first drive of the night. It topped off with a Rogan Messing 4-yard touchdown run. Cruz would tack it off with a PAT. 7-0 Harbor Beach early. Still in this first quarter. Caden Buchholz would get free on a 39-yard touchdown run. Cruz with yet another PAT, and at the end of the first quarter, it's Harbor Beach 14, the Reese Rockets nothing. Into the second quarter, more Harbor Beach offense. This time, Keegan Potestivio, a 3-yard touchdown run. Another Cruz PAT makes it 21-0 with 5:44 to go in the second quarter. And just a couple minutes later, just just over 3 minutes later, Rogan Messing would score his second touchdown, this time from 8 yards out, and Cruz would make another PAT. 28-0 Harbor Beach at the half. In the third quarter, you probably guessed it, Rogan Messing for a third touchdown run, this time 4 yards away. Cruz would tack on another PAT. 35-0 Harbor Beach with 6:02 to go. And exactly 3 minutes later, Keegan Podestevio would bust out a 64-yard touchdown run. Cruz tacks on another PAT, and at the end of the third quarter, it's Harbor Beach 42 and the Reese Rockets nothing. But in the fourth quarter, Reese would finally get on the board with a Deegan Carter 11-yard touchdown run. He would also run in the two-point conversion to make it 42-8, and on the ensuing play, it would be Ty Winkle picking up the next kickoff, taking it 75 yards to the house, and Cruz would make a perfect night on his PATs. 7 for 7, 49 for Harbor Beach, and the Reese Rockets 8 would make that your final score.
So Ed Klump has made it back upstairs, and we'll let him catch his breath here for a second there, because I don't care how good a shape you are in, you are going to lose your breath by the time you get to the top of those stairs, as it was an impressive game from start to finish. Harbor Beach had 7 total scores. They had 9 possessions on the night. Their only possession they didn't score on in the first half was at halftime when they got the ball with 16 seconds left in the second quarter. Their only other drive they did not score on was their final drive when they had the second string and JV players in, and that resulted in a punt with 42 seconds left in the ball game. Everything else in between there, 7 scores for the Harbor Beach Pirates to improve to 10-0 on the season and really continue this road to Ford Field with a head of steam behind them.
Yeah, it all starts in the trenches, right? This team, that was the question mark at the beginning of the year. Can this offensive line and defensive line compete with some of these other schools and what they're going to bring? They've answered that question over and over again, and it shows you that even with injuries, these other guys have stepped up. A lot of them seniors. Again, Drew Nickran, Keegan Podestevio, just to name a couple. Luke Bisher's had a big role. That this team has a lot more speed, and they utilize it well, and they get a lot of guys the football, again, trying to get their quote-unquote star players a little more healthy, but they have enough firepower to make this happen. And again, defensively, if they can play like this, they're a very tough football team.
So, Ed Klump, you're on the sidelines. What were your thoughts there?
Well, it came down to depth for Harbor Beach. When they're banged up as much as they are, and some guys are only playing one way, some guys aren't getting in as much as they want. But next man up is really what Harbor Beach does. And this year they bring in more guys, and the guys they bring in have even more speed. So as long as I think both their line, their offense and defensive line, that's where they don't have a lot of depth. As long as they stay healthy there, I think they'll be fine.
An impressive event. Impressive showing by the Harbor Beach Pirates. We knew that they were most likely going to win this game. I mean, they beat Reese once already this season, but not in this fashion. Last time they played, it was 33-14. Harbor Beach had a lower scoring game. Reese scored twice, which only 2 teams have done all season on them. But tonight, 49-8 is quite the statement.
Yeah, and you can see, though, like Deegan Carter especially, he's a very good football player.
Yeah.
He's got the skills. He caught a nice pass. You can see when he gets out in open space, he's really good with the football, and their offense is designed around that. But I thought the difference between the first game and the second game, and Dan kind of tipped on that, it was the edge play, right? This team wants to get outside. They want, whether it's the option, the pitch, you name it. They're trying to get their fastest, best player in Deegan Carter out in space, and every time, if it wasn't a defensive end, it was one of the outside linebackers that was staring at that quarterback, forcing him back into the middle of the field, where everybody else, let's start with John Lehrman, resides, and you don't get much in that space. No. And Harbor Beach sealed those edges, contained their gaps, and they really negated what Reese wants to do in getting outside running the football. Yeah,
Harbor Beach is all about discipline from the first game to this game. Discipline, doing your job, that type of thing. They're growing as a team, and I think they're peaking at the right time.
No, without doubt. I mean, we knew that this team had a lot of offensive firepower. We knew there's a lot of injuries. They're slowly getting back to health. But we barely mentioned Benson Harper's name tonight, who's probably, if not the best athlete on this team, they're not even utilizing. Caden Buchholz. We heard him in the first quarter, the second quarter. Nothing since then.
Right. He's arguably one of their better linebackers. He has not played
defense in 3 games.
It's been at least that since he's played defense. And again, for Benson Harper, he's out there for security purposes. He contains the no-fly zone on defense, and even comes up and did make a few tackles where needed. But his job is to make sure nothing gets past him. And again, the one time you call his name is when they try to throw it and he picks it off and turns it into offense for their team. But there is going to be a time where you're going to see him back on the football field. Right now, he's being treated like he was when he was a freshman. When he gets out there, it's a wide receiver route, and that is it. And that is for his health and his protection at this point. At some point, I firmly believe he is going to get put back in the backfield. He is going to become a guy that carries the ball 20-25% of the time. He's going to catch a couple passes. He's going to be an important part of the offense. But right now, there's no need. There are other guys making big strides in this offense, and they do a really good job. The difference between those guys and Benson Harper is Benson Harper at top speed can change directions.
Yeah.
The rest of that is a talent that very few people have.
We can do that, and I can do that, but other than that.
And we're going to prove eventually racing Doc Messing.
I do not care how much time you spend at Smalley's. You guys do not have that change of pace ability, okay? But not like he's got. But again, that is no knock on the rest of these guys. That is an elite talent that makes him the superior player. But you see these guys that go in space. You've seen Postgame make that one cut and take it to the house. You're seeing that with Drew Nickran. That's what it takes. You want those big plays because it fuels your team. It fuels your crowd. And again, those big plays are what drives this football team.
It is a little scary to think that Harbor Beach still has more in the tank that's left. We're just not seeing it.
I think it's a lot. I personally think it's a lot.
It's like watching Ed Klump at a hot dog eating contest. He has that extra gear, and you just don't know what to do with it at that point. Let's take a look at those stats. Starting out with the Harbor Beach Pirates, 326 yards on 28 carries and 6 touchdowns. Throwing another 36 yards on 1 completion to Matt Geiger from Caden Buchholz. And the Harbor Beach Pirates end tonight with 362 yards on 30 plays of offense. They entered tonight averaging 333 yards. They exceeded that by 29 more yards. On top of that, 6 touchdowns, 30 plays, 362 yards. They had the ball for 16 minutes and 26 seconds tonight. That's just 34% of the time. They held the ball for 16 minutes and change tonight, and they scored 7 times. Not too bad. Leading the way, Rogan Messing, 11 carries for 129 yards and 3 touchdowns. He averaged 11.7 yards per carry and carried the ball 39% of the time for the Pirates tonight. Keegan Potestevio, 5 carries for 119 yards and 2 scores for the young man. Caden Buchholz, 5 carries, 48 yards and 1 touchdown, including a 39-yard score for the score, I do believe it was. Yes, it was. Andrew Gamon, 2 carries for 21 yards. Drew Nickran, 1 carry for 9 yards. Luke Vischer, 1 carry for 3 yards. And we had another slew of running backs as well, but we can't fit them on our screen, so we can't say their names right now as well. Buchholz through the air was 1 for 2 for 36 yards, the only reception brought in by Matt Geiger, which set up another score there. I do believe that's Potestevio, then who scored later in that play after 2 straight carries for Potestevio. And then Ty Winkle returns 1 kick for 75 yards for the touchdown, giving Harbor Beach a 49-8 victory. The Reese Rockets had 50 plays of offense for 201 yards altogether, with just 1 score and 2 turnovers on the night. And we have averaging 4 yards per play. Harbor Beach averaged 12.1 per play on offense. So the Reese Rockets were paced by Deegan Carter, 17 carries for 109 yards and 1 score, averaging 6.4, and carried the ball just under half the time tonight. That's about the only bright spot for this Reese offense.
Yeah, it really is, because they had 201 yards of offense, and I believe about a quarter of that came on that last drive where Deegan Carter scored. So they did not get a lot when the game was being played very hard in the first half. It was just dominating defense by Harbor Beach. They just didn't allow anything. And the big note, and it's not going to jump ahead either, but the penalties killed Reese. Yeah. 9 penalties. They had 3 in a row. They didn't even run a play, basically, for 3 straight plays. They went back 20, 25 yards combined in those three plays in a row. It was on that 14-play drive Clark. Yeah, it was
8 minutes and 21 seconds on the drive. 14 plays, 4 first downs, 2 for 4 on third down, 1 for 1 on fourth down. They were in Harbor Beach territory, and they ended that one at their own 43 because of those penalties. Just kept backing them up further and further, and then it was picked off by Benson Harper with the interception.
Yeah,
so,
which at that time it was third down and a country mile, so they just heaved it downfield, hoping for anything, a penalty, anything. But when you throw it there, again, that's where Benson Harper resides, and chances are he's going to get the football he seems to always do.
Trey Johnson ends with 6 carries for 19 yards. Steele Stricker at quarterback, 8 carries for 19 yards. Bo Rasmussen, 1 carry for 2 yards. I love that name. J.J. Signs, just as much me too. 1 carry for 0 yards. And Hayden Ray, 2 carries for a loss of 2 with 1 fumble. Steele Stricker, 7 for 15 for 54 yards and 1 interception, completing the ball 47% of the time. Luke Messing, 2 receptions for 30 yards, including a 23-yard reception. Deegan Carter, 1 reception for 13 yards. Carson Soper, 2 receptions, 7 yards. Carter Brazy, 1 reception for 4. And Hayden Ray, 1 reception for no gained yards. On defense, Reese with 25 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, and 2 sacks. Those negative plays coming against Harbor Beach's JV players. Harbor Beach with 42 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 sack, 1 interception, 2 tip passes, and a fumble recovery at the very end.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they were all over the field. I mean, you can start with John Lehrman, but he was the credit of those defensive ends and outside linebackers forcing Steele Stricker back to the middle of the field, and that's where those guys reside. Cleaning up Jonah DeMock is another one. That's where those big guys in the middle were making those tackles and just making life difficult for Reese on every single series.
And then let's take a look at the defensive side of things. Preston Castle leading the way for the Reese Rockets with 5 tackles and 1 tackle for a loss. Luke Messing, 4 tackles and 1 sack. Trey Johnson, Hayden Rader, and Deegan Carter each with 3. Bo Rasmussen, 2 tackles and a sack, and then 1 tackle apiece for Eli Adair, Cole Stricker, Carson Soper, Cody McDonald, and Luke Davis. For the Harbor Beach defense, leading the way yet again, John Lehrman. He leads this team and tackles the whole way through. He entered tonight with, I think, 50-some tackles, and he adds on 8 more on top of that. Jonah Dimmock, 5 tackles with 1 tackle for a loss. Andrew Caban and Matt Geiger each with 4. Benson Harper, 3 tackles and 1 interception. Ty Winkle, 3 tackles with 1 tip pass. Skylar Cruz, the same thing, 3 tackles and 1 tip pass. Drew Nickran, Peyton Rungenbach, 2 tackles, as well as Spencer Guitar, who had a sack on top of that, and then also a forced fumble and a recovered fumble for Spencer Guitar. Noah Mellendorf, 2 tackles and 1 tackle apiece for Rogan Messing, Logan Cruz, Landon Ramsey, and Nolan Glaza.
Yeah, again, Reese ran a lot of plays, and so Harbor Beach tacking on those tackles, and you see a lot of those big plays, right? The tackles for loss, the sacks, they forced 2 turnovers. That's what good defenses do, and give your offenses more possessions, and they cashed in on a lot of them.
Yeah, you ain't kidding there. Ed Klum, your thoughts here?
Well, so far as the defense goes for Harbor Beach, you have Rogenbach and you got Mellendorf in the middle there just clogging everything up. That's why the run didn't work. Those guys played incredibly stout on defense today.
Oh, you ain't kidding. Mm-hmm. You ain't kidding. I mean, every time it seemed like Reese was getting any ahead of steam, Harbor Beach then the next play it said, okay, we'll just stop him for a loss. We'll stop him at no gain.
Yeah, and if that didn't happen, the yellow flag got him, right?
Yeah.
9 penalties, 63 yards, and that's that's one of the few things that Coach Schelke is going to get after his kids about. 2 personal fouls, 2 15-yard penalties, I should say. Those are the unnecessary ones. The chances are they're after the play or something like that. You got to clean those up. Those are a close competitive game. Those are going to be the difference makers. He will not stand for that. So again, that chase for perfectionism is always there, and again, that really hurt Reese this evening. Any chance to kind of hang around this game?
Yeah, with that long drive by Reese that was killed by the penalties, they were killing the clock. They were keeping the Harbor Beach offense on the sidelines, and it looked like they were going to go in to score, and it would have been a different complexion game. I don't know if they would have won, but it would have felt a lot different if they would have punched that in.
If they score there and continue to use the clock like they did, we go to halftime 14-7.
Yeah.
I mean, departing on 2-point conversion, right? I'll give them an extra point. We're talking 14-6, 14-7. It feels like a totally different game, even though Harbor Beach statistically would have been dominating. A 1-score game's a 1-score game.
Yep.
So, Harbor Beach now advances to take on the USA Patriots for the second time this season. They defeated the Patriots earlier in the year, and it was a lopsided affair. I think it was a running clock entering halftime. They defeated lost to Harbor Beach 52-6 back on September 26th, back in week number 5. So USA has certainly improved a lot since then, but so have the Harbor Beach Pirates.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a wake-up call for USA, because I think they've rattled off 4 or 5 straight since then. So I definitely think that football team is improved. Clearly, they're in the playoffs. They just put up 50 points in their district game where they're at over there. So I definitely think they're going to bring a different attitude, a different game plan. They're going to be a little more ready for this Harbor Beach team. But again, if Harbor Beach plays the way they can play. They just have an extra gear. They have more in the tank than other teams have, and it's going to be tough for them to keep this high-powered offense down.
So the Harbor Beach Pirates just secured the victory to punch their tickets to the district championship next week, their third straight appearance in the district championship, and their 16th district final appearance in school history. And so that will break after tonight. We start with 32 teams in Division 8. By night's end and weekends end, we will be down to 16 teams in the district championship, and then regional final beyond that, and then state semifinals, and then the finals after that. But a lot of football to play here, and if Harbor Beach plays like they did tonight, I think they might have a long run here.
I think so. They're like I said, firing on all cylinders. They can win in a lot of different ways. Last week they brought out the pass. They opened it up. The run wasn't stopped, but it was stymied a little bit. So then they opened it up. Here, they just kept doing what the defense gave them, and it was run, run, run.
Yeah, you're looking at a team that averaged 11 yards a carry. I mean, you don't have to pass in that scenario. You don't need a big player getting them on the regular. But when they did, Caden Buchholz, hits a 36-yarder to Matt Geiger down the field, and just another demoralizing play for a Reese defense that was looking for anything. And the next thing you know, they give up the one big pass that set up another touchdown run. Yeah,
so USA defeated Genesee 64-14 as your final there. But we'll get to other area scores in just a second because, Dave Hansen, we have some business to attend to here. The first and foremost being the Ameriprise Financial Player of the Game.
Yeah, 11 carries, 129 yards. He was the leading rusher in this game, the leading rusher for the Harbor Beach Pirates, and not one, not two, but 3 touchdown runs for this Harbor Beach offense. And it's Rogan Messing for the Harbor Beach Pirates as your Ameriprise Financial Player of the Game.
And it works out well because his mother was able to take a photo for us as well, thanks to Ed Klump setting it up for us. So Rogan Messing, your Ameriprise Financial Player of the Game. I think that's the second time this season. Yes, he had it against Lakers as well. 11 carries for 129 yards and 3 scores, averaging 11.7 per carry. His longest run, 36 yards, and carried the ball 39% of the time for the Harbor Beach Pirates. Rogan Messing, your Ameriprise Financial Player of the Game.
And like I said, when he runs the way he runs, everybody else just watches the show. He is the trendsetter. He is the heartbeat of this football team right now. Again, take nothing away from what Caden Buchholz or anybody else does, but right now he is the healthiest of their seniors, and he's the one that's been carrying this load for them the last few weeks. I don't see that stopping, but you start to mix in some of these guys on the offensive side. Another week of rest for Caden Buchholz to keep it around the outside. Eventually, you're going to see Benson Harper in the back of that backfield, and I just don't know how a defense can be disciplined enough to fill all of the gaps that Harbor Beach wants to throw at you with the different guys running these fakes and the explosiveness that they bring. Because if you bring one guy to Rogan Messing, he's getting punished, and they're getting 4 or 5 yards minimum. And that's just the way this offensive line has treated this football team. And you keep mixing in these playmakers. There is a lot more this football team wants to do.
They can kill you in a lot of different ways.
Very true.
Dynamite dropping.
Yeah, I was going to say, way to dive in there.
Broadcasting school's really paying off.
Oh, Bob Euchre, I missed that, man. So let's take a look at other area scores here. We have in 8-player football, last we heard, Brown City and Capac going down to the wire. 2:35 left in the fourth quarter. Dan Banky's compiling these for us, so thank you to that, and getting all of our updates from Thumb Sports Writer Association, the TSA, for reporting all these. So Brown City leading Capac 38-32, 2 and change left in the fourth quarter there. Kingston holds off the All Saints, the Cougars. In Kingston tonight, Kingston wins 22-14 over Bay City All Saints. Kingston improves to 8-1. All Saints falls to 7-3. Coming off, they didn't play last week. They had a forfeiture victory, and their 4-game win streak ends in the first week of the postseason against Kingston. In Deckerville plays tomorrow, mind you, at 1 p.m. against Morris in Deckerville tomorrow. In Division 7, 11-player football, Lakers shut out against Cass City. That is a big victory for the green and white. 17-0. It was 3-0 at halftime. Lucas Weiner hit a 40-yard field goal over the Cass City Redhawks and then tack on 2 scores in the second half to defeat the Cass City Redhawks for the second time this season. Quite the rivalry there. Lakers 17, Cass City nothing. Lakers now 8-2, and they will take on the winner of Valley Lutheran of Saginaw, where the Chargers are 9-0 entering tonight. Ithaca was the other player there. In the second quarter, last update we have there is Valley Lutheran 12, Ithaca 7. In the other side of the bracket in Division 7, Millington was slamming Burton Bendel. It was 35-0, then 49-0 last we heard there. And then in Division 8 football, USA defeats Genesee, like we said, 64-18 to improve for their 7th victory this season, their first home playoff game since 2016. And Valley Lutheran falls to Ithaca 2 minutes ago. Thank you, Doug Cole here. So Ithaca's leading 24-12 in that game. So that is going to be a high-intensity game there as well for the Lakers against potentially Ithaca. And if that is the case, Lakers would host Ithaca.
Yes, that's
Very
right.
interestingly enough there as well. We have then, of course, Harbor Beach defeats Reese 49-8, and then USA over Genesee 64-14. And looking ahead here, not that we want to do that, but we at least, I can guarantee we'll have a coverage team going into regionals now with USA and Harbor Beach next week, as they will be facing off most likely the Beale City Aggies, the defending Division 8 state champions. They took out the Catholics of Mount Pleasant, Sacred Heart, 49-7 tonight, as it improved to 10-0 on the season. They're averaging 46 points per game. They exceeded that, and they're allowing just 3.4. So that is above their defensive average with that score for Sacred Heart tonight, 49-7. And so that sets up with a game against Lutheran Seminary or Novell Catholic Central. The Lutherans against the Catholics in Saginaw tonight. Haven't had a scoring update there. So it'll be Beale City against either Seminary or Novell, and then USA and Harbor Beach in this region and district championships next week.
Yeah, and Beale City, obviously, as defending champs, deservedly so. You're the favorite until somebody beats you, and nobody's done that yet. So we fully believe that they'll be the favorite heading into next Friday night, no matter which one of the two they play in a collision course for either Harbor Beach or USA the following week.
Yeah, it's tough division that we're in. The winner of Harbor Beach USA getting Beale City, it's just relentless. You just get good team after good team after good team coming out of the Thumb area.
Yeah, and if USA wins that game, we'll go on the road to Beale City. But if Harbor Beach were to win, then Beale City would come here, and that might be just the edge that a Harbor Beach team would need if that happens. But again, they got to get past a tough, heating up USA Patriot football team next week.
So, Dave Hansen, Ed Klump, final thoughts here from... one more thing, actually. Ed Klump, you won last week, and then you $1 Kendall Anthus, and then Kendall Anthus $1.
I was on the wrong side of the dollar.
You $1 the wrong way. Kendall Anthus had Harbor Beach winning by 42 points. It was a 41-point victory for the Harbor Beach Pirates. So Kendall Anthus now out to a 2-game lead in the Media Roundtable standings. That's his 4th victory this season. And now Dave Hansen at 1 win, Doug Cole at 1 win, Ed Klump at 1 win, Clark Ramsey at 1 win, Dan Benke's at 2, and he's the only man that could potentially catch Kendall Anthus here the rest of the way out. Dan Benke, any thoughts?
Great win by Harbor Beach, right?
Yeah.
It was dominant on both sides of the ball. Nothing to say about that other than they just dominated the game. And Kendall did text me. He is watching us, so...
Well, good.
There'll be no living with them next week.
That's why I got
There'll be no living with them next week.
That's why I got the update from Schoolcraft.
Thank you. I was glad there. So we have 2 viewers. We have my mother and Kendall Anthus.
In 8-man, in case anybody's really watching, you got Gaylord St. Mary leads Mayo 76-48 through 3 quarters. A little bit of scoring going on in that game.
Am I unaware? Are they playing Northern Illinois next week in the MAC championship or something there?
Yeah.
I mean,
they're in Division 2 8-man, it says.
Wow.
Interesting
okay.
score, I thought. So,
if you have not, this is my public service announcement for the night. If you have not taken the time to watch an 8-player game, now is the time. 8-player football is exciting. It is real football. It is everything that you can imagine. And you basically pull the tackles off the field and then maybe a wide receiver or a running back, and that's exactly what you have. You have a lot of big plays. And if you play 8-player football like the Thumb plays football, especially Deckerville, especially Kingston, Brown City, North Huron, even Bannack's in the mix now, it is an exciting brand of football to watch. Give it a chance.
It's only growing. Marlette is going to join that party next year, and it's probably inevitable. We're going to see more of our teams go to that game anyways, but give it a chance. I mean, Deckerville is your defending state champion as well. They are, at the very least, the most worthy team to watch. I mean, they all are, but they just won some hardware. That is a very good football team. They still play the same style of football they did when they were playing Harbor Beach and Ubley and Sandusky every single week. They still play that power football that we just like to see around here. And on both sides of the ball, they fly all over the place. And if they didn't have a bad injury, they might be the favorite to win again.
So, Dan Benke, Ed Klump, you were actually both in the backfield for the Harbor Beach Pirates you were under Troy Shelton. Yes. You were under Jack Dillon.
Troy was a defensive coach.
Okay, well, that explains your defensive play. Actually, no, that doesn't.
So you're a whole lot older is what you're saying.
Yeah. how do you go approach this next week in the postseason? You've already played Reese once. Now are playing USA for the second time. The first time you played USA was a dominating victory. How do you keep this team motivated for the future?
First, Dan.
Hey, yield my time to the U.S. Senator from Wyoming.
You go back to film the start and see, okay, well, a little bit of a lopsided game the first time, but I believe USA had some players out due to a suspension.
Right,
I believe it was all starters. So it's going to be a complete different game, right? And USA runs a trap very similar to Ubly, and Harbor Beach sometimes has problems with that. So I think they're going to have to go back to the basics and, just watch the film and try to, come up with a stop for the trap.
And that's really it. Hitting the film. That's
right.
the key. That's the key. Seeing what they're doing differently. They got some players back, like you said.
Right.
And that's really discipline. Just stick to what you've been doing, and things should take care of themselves. Keep the intensity up. That's
right,
it. Just
right.
keep the intensity up, and they will be as playoff football. It's the thumb. Both teams are going to come in here. USA is going to come in here. Harbor Beach is going to come in here, and they're both going to bring it. It's going to be a good game next week, I think.
Just keep them hungry, right? Keep them hungry for more. You cannot fall for, hey, we just won easy. You can't be thinking about potentially Beale City or whoever might be. You got to focus on the task at hand. I think nobody says it better than Coach Shelke, right? That's all he said was, hey, we're going to celebrate this tonight, but it's on to USA tomorrow. Nothing else matters at that point. So I think they will be well motivated. Again, a guy that's been doing it for, I don't know, ever, right? So I think they'll be all right. But again, it should be a good football game, much better than the first go round.
Yeah, so let's take, if this is what our bracket looks like there a little bit. On the other side, we have Beale City defeating Sacred Hearts. They advanced to the district championship. We're not sure who New Novell or Lutheran Seminary won that one. And then Harbor Beach and Reese, that winner went on in favor of Harbor Beach, and then USA takes out Genesee. So it kind of gives us a brief outlook of what that future looks like there. But Dave Hansen, final thoughts from the first week of the postseason.
Yeah, always glad to be in Harbor Beach. We got lots of space, and they always take good care of us like always. But
we got a booth. We have a booth.
Yes, we have
This
a
is
booth.
amazing.
We have a set, actually.
Yeah,
I got to finally see the Smalley's place that Doug keeps talking about.
right.
First time this week.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
Tremendous.
First time this week.
First time this week, maybe, yeah. But no, I always appreciate being here. Again, a great football game, well competed. Another good season for Reese. It ends too quickly for them, but back-to-back seasons in the playoffs. Again, I think Coach Kerry Messing's got that program back on the right track, and it starts with making the playoffs, right? So, man, good job for them. But onwards for Harbor Beach. Good luck to them again next week, and I look forward to seeing USA come over here so we can watch those two play.
And a big shout out to Kerry Messing, head coach for Reese, not only letting Ed interview him at halftime, but also for sending out his season stats. That makes my life extremely easier throughout the week. So thank you to Kerry Messing. A big shout out to you and your team, as that was this is a good Reese Rocket team. There's a lot of youth here as well that's going to push them forward.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to miss a couple players. I mean, Deegan Carter's obviously the most explosive player. First of all, they're going to miss him next year. But again, you don't win 5 games against their schedule if you're not a pretty good football team. And they didn't have it tonight. They ran into a buzzsaw, and that's going to happen when you run into a talented team like Harbor Beach at some point. But again, number one job: get into the playoffs and repeat it. Okay, that not only draws attention to your program, but it keeps the kids happy, and that you win a lot of games, and that's what kind of brings it all together, right? You got to have those options and have that correlation with the team and in the school, and that's a big part of it.
Dan Benke.
This is a couple score updates. Ithaca did pull it out to win, so Ithaca will be going to Lakers, and K-Pac took the lead 40-38 with 53 seconds left.
Over Kingston?
Nope, over Brown City.
Over Brown City.
So it's 40-38 with 53 seconds left was the last
Keep
update.
in mind, Brown City had a big lead, and Cooper Lawson left that game early, and it's been nothing but K-Pac in the second half.
Okay.
Hey, Lakers get a home game. That's good.
Lakers
good
get a
news.
home
Good
game.
news.
That's great news.
Yeah, so we'll be sticking with Harbor Beach and USA as we have hitched our wagon to the Division 8 playoffs, and that's where we're going to keep on cruising here. As well, frankly, this set is a lot to move, and that has a lot to do with we have the space that we need as well here in Harbor Beach.
Smalley's place.
And a internet connection, and you name it, and everything else. So we're certainly excited for the future. Also excited for the Lakers to host a second playoff game as the number 2 seed. You don't normally get that in district championship, but then when the number 1 seed seed goes down, that's the next man up, and Lakers will be hosting the Ithaca Yellow Jackets in the district championship.
Yeah, like I said, I love their chances, right? I mean, like I said, they are a good football team, and especially on the defensive side. They showed it again tonight, right? Cass City can't even score on them. That's a big deal. They obviously have the special teams. If they need to put 3 up at the end of a half, they have the ability to do that too. So points have been an issue for Lakers, but if that defense continues to carry them, Ithaca is going to need it. Only maybe 20 points to win that game, but it's not going to be easy for them.
Dan Banky, any final thoughts here from tonight?
No, just looking for next week's game. I think it's going to be a tough-nosed game, right? I don't see Heart Beach running loose like they did tonight. It's going to be a little bit tougher game.
And Doug Cole. We'll hear from the whole crew here tonight. So, Doug Cole, any thoughts here? You're off to Washington, D.C. now. You're inside the Beltway.
Big time.
Keep scooting over. There you go. There you go. There's Doug. He's a little camera shy. He's into his stats, but he's traveling with the Detroit Lions next week to help cover the Washington National. Not the Washington Nationals, the Washington Commanders. Excuse me.
Yeah, I'm going to have a little trip, do a little stats. There's a stats school on the way too.
Oh, good. All right.
I'll be teaching.
It's the only thing open in D.C. right now.
Yep, I'm looking forward to that, but I'll miss you guys, of course, and I'll definitely see you in 2 weeks because regardless, we're going to be covering
We'll have a game one way or the other.
And Doug, if you could have your entire congregation this Sunday pray for us, because we're going to have Kendall Anthus covering your job next week. So
he'll do a great job. It's a lot, but it's something that Kendall can definitely accomplish.
I like your style.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are we looking at Eating with Ed then next week?
Eating with Ed is officially on the docket. Yes.
I got a segment.
So thank you, Doug. Safe travels. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yes.
All right. Ed Klump, final thoughts here.
Looking forward to next week. USA coming in here. I think it is going to be a different team that USA is going to bring
I
in
agree.
than the first time Harbor Beach saw them. I'm excited to see it.
So, gentlemen, it's been a fun broadcast. We got Kevin Streeter over here, and tonight's game broadcast was presented by, where are we at here? Thumb Sailor and AVS Broadband, Kodak Radiator and Air Conditioning of Banex, Randy's Hunting Center, 269 Guns, North Star Bank guiding the way, Countryside Sales and Service, DS Services of Cass City, Thumb Bank and Trust, Thumb Electric and TEC Fiber, Harbor Beach Community Hospital, a proud partner of Sure Health, Ramsey Funeral Home, our family serving yours since 1948. Wessel's Enterprises, Harbor Beach Hardware, the Michigan High School Athletic Association, and Sure Health. Better health, better life. Are you sure? Thank you, Ed. All right. On behalf of our entire broadcast team, our Director of Sports Information, Doug Cole, doing all the numbers for us tonight. Kevin Streeter, our producer of our video side for Thumb Audio Video presented by Sure Health. There he is, giving a good smile there. Dan Banky, best spotter in the business. Kendall Anthus was from afar, our associate producer. He'll return next week. Ed Klump on the sidelines for us as a reporter, and Dave Hansen in-game analysis. My name is Clark Ramsey, producer and host of this broadcast. We hope you enjoyed tonight's game. The Harbor Beach Pirates defeat the Reese Rockets 49-8 to advance to the district championship. We'll see you next Friday from Harbor Beach.
This has been a presentation of the WLEW Sports Network, powered by AVS Broadband. On Sports Radio 102.1 FM and live and worldwide at WLEWsports.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Just search for WLEW Sports. Your home for high school football is the WLEW Sports Network.